Hello there, Commonwealth from here. When you look at a Nintendo game, you try to view its different aspects like say story and gameplay. But what do you do when everything in a title is built upon social interaction? That is the core of Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, the third installment in a franchise that basically asked the question, what if Miis had personality? The end results are hilarious and heartfelt with options that are tons of fun to mess around with. We'll go over it properly in this honest review. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press the notification bell. After an over 10-year-long hiatus, since 2014's Tomodachi Life, the chaos is back. Since Living the Dream, as the new game is subtitled, takes some bold steps forward, but doesn't shy away from what made the previous two titles so much fun. In fact, they are taking it a step beyond for a social experience that is even higher than what Nintendo did before. It mostly swings, but with that said, there are also some misses. So what is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream? You take the role of the caretaker, a powerful, all-encompassing being that will take care of the Mii's every need. You don't exactly play as yourself, although you could add a version of yourself to the island. And as you oversee a greater and greater group of Mii's, up to 70 Mii characters, you will see them eventually roam freely on an island, but where you have full control of shaping it to your image. Or by placing objects, facilities and houses. The scope of the island will expand piece by piece, and you can also create your own designs, continuously expanding the pool of items that your inhabitants can use. It is the ultimate creative tool, and in some regards even more so than Animal Crossing New Horizons. Unlike that game, however, you don't actively participate in the Mii's day-to-day. Instead, you guide them, ensure that the characters become friends and entice them to take the next step. As the core of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream are the social elements. You fill in the blanks and give them topics to discuss. You'll see absolutely silly conversations play out with the prompts that you provided. As you progress, you expand that pool and use that to create howling situations that no other game can beat, or replicate for that matter. Who knew that a Mii could do a Rick Astley impression so badly? Or that playing rhythm games requires a professional license? There's a comfortable awkwardness to see the things that you thought about play out. They become the core of what makes Tomodachi Life special. The Mii characters you create basically play out on an island drama that is filled with your thoughts, feelings and designs. The problems range from wanting food to basically starting a family and, live the dream. You have to manage that and create the fine line of being comfortable yet creative. And that is what really matters here, being creative. Since if you can't embrace that, you're never gonna get the real potential and fun out of this experience. Even if it's just what you find funny, who cares? It is a highly personal experience anyway, so you might as well enjoy it your way. Mii characters will have thought bubbles or icons atop of their heads, making you aware of their needed attention. This can range from prompts to relationship advice, from basic needs to the idea of placing an item. You're never quite sure what you will get outside of a certain color scheme. It's all about reading the air and reacting the best way you possibly can. And by completing requests, you'll earn some money as well as warm fuzzies. The former is obvious, but the latter serves as energy for the wishing fountain that unlocks new items, quirks, and game elements. By leveling up the happiness of a Mii, you'll be able to give those quirks or items, allowing for more robust interactions. It is a fun gameplay loop that carries more weight than it should. The frequency of requests keeps the game highly entertaining. The Nintendo 3DS game was somewhat lacking, leaving gaps for the player to shut the game down and go do something else. But in Living the Dream, over a 2-hour span we never got bored and continuously had things to do. That is probably the best compliment we can give to this Switch and Switch 2 game. Every time we play it, we anticipate playing for, say, half an hour, but it ends up being double than that at the absolute minimum. As you continue to populate the island, the amount of events further expand, easily filling that stretch of time that you're keen on filling. And if you feel like doing absolutely nothing, let the camera focus on one of the characters and see how they live their life on the island. It's honestly quite rewarding. Of course, there are some cracks in the armor. The creators made situations repeat more often than you might like, even if the variables remain hilarious. In a vacuum, it's not that bad, but it is sad when it happens within the same session. And this is despite there being new interactions that pop up once in a while, as the common interactions will reappear time after time, ensuring that you know them by heart by the end of it. Considering this game's tremendously free spirit, plus the knowledge that you can't freely share your creations, we have to wonder how much time it would have taken the developers to give you some sort of script editor. Then again, they removed the concert hall, which was the Nintendo 3DS version's most freeing asset. Here you could create songs with your own lyrics, which the Miis then clumsily tried to perform. In a game with endless possibilities, we find it sort of shocking that this beloved Nintendo 3DS element is simply no longer there. Similarly, they removed elements from the flow of the game, and it doesn't feel like there was a real reason for that. Example is how babies are still born from loving couples, but now they speed through the process really fast. As, at the end of a 4-minute cutscene, the child becomes a regular citizen of the island with some obvious restrictions. It feels a bit hollow to remove those truly outrageous moments, particularly given the weight to romantic relationships and close friendships. While the fact these elements are gone stinks, we have to underline how strong the creative vision of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is. There's a lovely mixture of new and returning facilities like the news station, photo studio, Ferris wheel, and restaurant. It throws new novel scenarios in the mixture that add more to the funny things you can encounter. In addition to this, the game comes with a vast variety of items, housing options, and food for the Miis to interact with. As we keep unlocking elements with the wishing well, we only scratch the surface of what is truly possible on our island. In the design studio, you can make more of these, allowing your Mii friends to further deepen the unique interactions they can have. You can change the way houses look, or give them new pets to play with. Everything is here to make your island feel unique, more so even than the previous games. However, this requires the creative involvement of yourself. There's no way to share designs outside of connecting with another Nintendo Switch through local play. No QR codes or way to give it to your most trusted friends. We're not quite sure what Nintendo expected if we're being honest. Despite locking the game down, people have found a way to spread their content regardless. At the same time, the game doesn't restrict you in what you can make. This results in some hilarious circumstances across the wider internet. The Mii characters that look like anime or video game characters are by far our favorites. You try to fit them in this oddball world, which more often than not goes completely off the rails. People have turned Pokemon pixel art into pets, which looks great considering how stiff the pets already are. Others are making and then buying too many deadly reds to the beat of a catchy shop tune, and much more. No kidding, in a few days or weeks, we'll likely see completely customized towns that will turn faces quickly. We're pretty certain of that. In that sense, special prompts must be given to the game island builder. You can freely make the city of your dreams with comprehensive tools that are easy and quick to use. And with it, we had fun laying down new paths, making it feel closer to local island towns. Additionally, the standard objects that you unlock through the wishing well add new encounters between the Miis, which makes it absolutely worth the price of admission. They are a great starting point for anybody hopping in, though the most creative fellows will quickly find themselves overriding certain elements once they serve their purpose. Nevertheless, it was fun to use, which should be the key factor. As Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream is all about looking and sounding fun. The scope of the island lands really well on both the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. It is a colorful game with enough whimsy to even enlighten the harsher critics. Yes, the style of humor or game might not be for everyone, and probably not for them. But this is a city builder and social game fully realized in one. You can take a closer look at the finer elements for a truly delightful experience. And what really helps is that the Mii characters have a cuteness to them that feeds the deepened style well. The music helps to continue the story further with some highly funky background music and jingles. The short tunes as you make a friend or experience a broken heart really emphasize it all quite well. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream thrives on creativity, with some excellent design tools and the ability to throw in any word you can possibly think of. There's a lot to like here. Obviously, the situations repeat a bit too often, and as a result, some new elements are lessened in this new creative vision. At the same time, we can easily play this for an hour or two, and often even longer without even blinking twice, and feel completely immersed and satisfied. The interactions between characters, the funny scenarios that Tomodachi Life throws at you, and the way the game is presented is all wonderful. Over time, we might not play as frequently, but we'll always return for another slice of life, and of course, funny moments and memes. As a result, the positives heavily outweigh the negatives, so we're giving Living the Dream a deserved 80 out of 100. But what do you think about this social interaction experiment game from Nintendo? Sound off in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press notification bell, and last but not least, a big thanks to you for watching and to all our patreon.com/commonrealm patrons. Special shoutouts go to our heroes, Cheryl, Garrett Hoy, Holly Wolf, and Gintaro. You rock, and please enjoy these awesome videos.